Dun, dun, dun.
Two nerds, master of nothing, sharing passion for tech, movies, TV shows, and gaming. Life. It's actually four nerds. We don't know much, just enough to be dangerous. Yo, what's up? It's your boys.
Boom.
Welcome to the show, y'all.
Howdy. Episode 8.
Trying this again. Take 2.
Yeah. You know what Magic 8 is, though, for a podcast, right? I already told you guys. We just weren't live yet. So
Hold on,
8 is the average
I'm
number
hearing
for
I'm
new
hearing us.
podcasters.
I can't focus. I'm hearing us.
Is that coming off of Terrence?
No. No, I have my phone's on silent.
Yo, yo.
All right, let's move forward. I'm gonna cope
Okay, let's do
Like-
this.
like Barry Manilow.
Because this is professional here.
Very Manilow.
So, just to start this off, Tom gave us some homework. He gave us all homework. Gave him, and he probably did his own. Oh, I'm probably not in that. Yeah. Boy, I just messed that up. Okay. Well, see, the 4 that we're seeing is different than what the layout is on the
Oh, that's right.
it
It
is.
is.
podcast.
No, it's not. Actually,
So-
it's not different
No, it's totally different.
unless it's
At least on
flipped.
my side, it looks different.
And Joey is
Oh,
up here.
okay.
But on my screen, Joey is over here.
In my Ninja, they're
And Mike
identical.
is down here.
Yeah, see on my screen, I'm top left-hand corner.
Oh.
Right.
But if I look, I'm bottom right.
Okay, I'm
that
going to
was-
share our link real
That was
quick with
Joey's
a
idea
few
to put you
friends.
guys down there. I know.
Look,
sorry.
it's your guys' podcast. Terrence
That's
and
true.
I are just guests until you change that intro.
Right.
That's true. Intro
I didn't
man.
see nothing on
Better get
See,
on
but-
Fiverr and get that new intro. Not sponsored yet.
I'm doing it
Joey.
myself.
Oh yeah. Well, are we gonna see? Are we gonna see our sponsor come back this week?
I don't know. I'm in the chat, so now I can actually see it this time.
Hey guys, a quick
We got
quick
3.
note. I was just gonna say, we got a new subscriber. Thank you for that. Thanks to all the other subscribers, and we got some good viewership last episode, so we want to keep that momentum going. Don't forget to leave comments about topics you want us to touch upon, and we're gonna. I think we may dabble into some current affairs. We've mostly been talking about nerdy stuff and kind of reminiscing, which is, I'm fine with that. We could probably reminisce for several more episodes, but I think we're probably going to venture into current events because some of our viewers want to know our thoughts on what's going on in the world.
I mean,
Okay.
our stories, our collective knowledge of one another is quite extensive. I've known Joey less time than anybody in this room, and I've known Joey now for about 23 years. So
Yep, 23 years.
Oh,
That just
shit.
means we're all
I realized
old.
something. I just realized something. I have lived. Every single one of you has either lived with me or I've lived with you
True.
at some point in time. Joey lived
When
with me.
did-
Mike lived with me, and
When
I
did
stayed-
Tom?
No, I lived with Terrence. I stayed on his couch
When?
in the Mesa
really?
apartment.
Oh, I stayed in the actual house though. Oh yeah, there was that time you stayed at the house for a bit. We were just talking about that. That was when that Money
Months.
T, the Philly crew,
Yeah.
came in and turned my apartment into a studio that couldn't rap or sing or carry a note or
Pictures
anything.
to prove it.
we didn't have cameras back then.
No? Well, I thought Magic's always had a camera in his hand.
I did. I have film somewhere.
Okay.
He's
I'd
oh
love
yeah,
to
you
see
gotta.
pictures of
He's
that.
got
That'd be
real
awesome.
video. It's formatted in real
Oh my-
video, so he's got to find a converter for
Listen,
it.
knowing Terrence in last week's episode, he probably has it saved on floppy disk somewhere.
I did just throw away an ass load of floppy disk. It was just for various stuff. Actually, majority of it was my dad's. I'm going through his computer gear. My mom still wants me to break into his hard drive, and I'm like, "There's nothing you need out of there anymore." She was like, "No, there's a military form." I'm like, "The only military form you would possibly need is an FS 240, and that's now called something else." I was like, I was like, I'm not. No, I know the dumb. I'm not gonna say dumb. My dad was not computer smart, so I'm not putting anything from his
Well,
computer near
I
any
don't.
working.
Were any of our dads?
Yeah, yeah. Your
That's a good
dad offered
point.
me. He was like, "Hey, I got some pictures of Tommy and the boys from back. You want to see them? I'll put them on a CD." I was like, "No. I'm okay. You can just show me here."
Hey, before I forget, and
So-
we talked about this last night, and I wanted to bring it up tonight because we got Joey in Indiana, I'm in Illinois, and then you guys are both in Arizona. But we talked
For
about
now.
this whole stupid thing that people say about the dry heat.
Oh,
Like
Oh.
people that haven't lived
Listen.
in Phoenix, they don't understand how hot it is.
Yeah, I saw what's that? Happy Gilmore. You ever see Happy Gilmore and the guy that plays the caddy in that?
Yeah.
yeah.
The guy that's drunk.
Apollo
Okay.
Creed.
No, he's another golfer.
No, the caddy.
The caddy's the guy that's in all of
guy
Adam's
that plays
movies.
the caddy. Yeah, he plays in it. I always
Okay.
remember him as being. I always remember him as caddy. So I see him. He opened up. I saw in 1996. No, whatever. 1996. We'll say. I go to see Adam Sandler live, and it's outdoor, and it's in the middle of summers, and it was just hot as balls. And that guy opens up for him, and he comes out, and he starts off talking about that. He's like, "Yeah, everybody tells me at least it's a dry heat," and he says, "But if it's such a dry heat, why is my ass so goddamn sweaty?" Like, listen, I don't care what you say. 120. It is already 106. Yes, it was 106 today.
Okay,
That is-
makes sense.
That is ridiculous.
When did you
I
hit
will
100?
say this though.
Oh, like 3 weeks
Oh.
ago?
Yeah,
4 weeks ago?
I want to
I
say
will
almost
say this
last
though.
month.
Arizona 95 to 100 I can manage.
Sure.
I could deal with up
It's
to
when
about
it goes
105.
over the 100-degree mark, like the 110 evenings really piss me off.
It does. I get to a point. I seriously, I get to a point when it hits probably about July where I start going into, I don't want to call it depression, but man, it's what I gotta
It
believe
is.
depression feels like. Like I start getting just irritated at how hot it is because you're hot all day long, and then you go outside and it was so hot during the day that the pavement is actually now you
It
feel the
melts.
heat just lifting from the ground instead of the heat beating down on top of you. You go outside at night and the heat lifts from the ground and it's just hot from the bottom. It's
I
miserable.
mean,
I
when you
call it
walk through a
the
parking
heat
lot, you feel like you're walking on marshmallows.
I call it the heat
And-
madness.
And it's not as humid or it's not as dry as everybody like to think. Between Tippy Town Lake now and then everybody in the valley having a damn pool, like there's it's not like where you all are at humidity, but you had any kind of humidity with 110 plus, it's no joke.
Yeah, you know what? So leaving there and coming to here, humidity is nothing to me. It's not Florida humidity, granted.
No.
Okay? Florida humidity is a horse of another color. But coming here, people complain about how bad the summers are. I think they're heavenly. I will work in my workshop through the entire summer as long as I have a fan.
Agree.
No
Yeah,
problem.
living in
Humidity as long as there's a fan, but
Florida
every
was
year,
another joke. Hottest I've ever been is a 95-degree day in Florida.
I think
Yep, I
every
agree.
year since I've moved to Phoenix, like literally, there's at least one day out of the summer where I'm like, why the fuck did I move here? And now it's, why the fuck am I still here? And
Yeah.
then even with the club and being out on a Saturday in full gear, and yeah, you're right, I've melted my boots on the ground because it's that damn hot, and I'm like, well, why am I still here?
Yeah,
But then
people.
I go visit Texas, and it's like, oh, it's 85, but 20% humidity. And I'm like, I can't breathe. Get me back to Phoenix. It's a dry heat.
People asked me after I left the club and I bought my first when I bought the Ram and it had the cooled seats and the heated seats, had the AC in the seats and heat in the seats. People asked me, how come you don't ride as much anymore? I was like, do you want to know what it's like to ride a motorcycle in Phoenix? It's real easy to figure that out. Just go in your bedroom right now, walk into your bathroom, pick up your wife's dryer, or if you've got a dryer, whatever, and stick that thing in about 2 feet away from your face and just hold the dryer on your face the entire time for half an hour. That's what it feels like to ride a motorcycle in Phoenix.
And don't
While
get stuck.
sitting
Don't
on
get
a
stuck
rock
at red
that's
lights. Getting stuck at red lights is a whole
No.
different story.
Well, listen, Joey's the craziest dude I ever knew on a motorcycle. That dude rode all year long with shorts and Crocs on.
I did
Couldn't
not
do it.
ride in Crocs in the winter.
Okay, all right. So my bad. All year long he wore shorts, but didn't wear Crocs in the winter. I don't know how many times that dude. He probably. I bet Joey's got scars on his legs to this day from heat burn on his pipes.
I do.
Yeah, but if you haven't ridden in shorts just to be able to catch air going through it, it is
no.
Oh man, it's a nice.
There's times when it's
disagree. No. You catch. Listen, you catch one pebble, and that'll change your mind. But worse than that, one time get behind a truck carrying hay.
Oh, geez.
You'll regret life decisions.
Bee
I've never
stings.
gotten hit in the nuts and I wore shorts.
I've gotten so many bee stings though.
Hay is the worst thing to get caught behind.
Pebbles were pretty bad. I've gotten behind pebbles.
Suck, but to just sit behind, it's like little millions of needles just screaming at your
I've never been behind hay, so.
I'm still gonna put hail and above hay, and the frogs.
That's fair.
Out in Queen Creek. Do you guys still have that? Like, there's something about driving out to Queen Creek at some point in time of the year. Like the road, I want to say it's Hunt Highway. It's just covered in fucking frogs. Like, and it happens every year. And I used to hate riding out there to see Deborah because I knew I had to take that road, and I'm like, this is just gonna be slime and shit jumping on me and like getting in my helmet. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I used to. So back where we lived by each other, I used to ride by these little canals next to the farms on purpose just to get that cool breeze. Back behind the Field of Dreams.
Oh yeah, I know where you're
farms
talking
with the little reservoirs of water.
Yeah, you know what else Joey used to do on purpose? Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and full throttle down the street so that everybody knew that Joey was going to work.
I did.
Joey
do that
was bad
once
neighbor.
or twice.
Hey, got a current event.
Just once or twice.
You wanted to talk about current events. I got one that I think we can safely converse about. Cryptocurrency. Right now, cryptocurrency is going through it's going through some turmoil. I personally feel like I'll probably get all kinds of down votes for this comment, but I think it's worse than gambling because you have absolutely no control of what happens in the situation other than whether you're going to buy it or not.
Well, yeah, you choose to buy it, so you have control.
At least with gambling, you have an indicator of what success is likely to look like.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
and
happy
depending
when I
on
leave with
yeah,
$1 more than I came with.
yeah, like video poker,
I
right?
don't
At
follow
least you
them
can
much.
control
I
some.
don't
You have some control over the decision. Roulette. There's different forms of gambling, but you know, if you look at the stock market and then you compare that to crypto, at least with the stock market, you have companies that are behind those stocks that you can look at, like the trend of that company and any breaking news or whatever. But and then hey, is that a company you like? Is that a company that's thriving? But to me, there's nothing that substantiates cryptocurrency. And I've played around, put it that way. I've played around with crypto. But I mean, I just don't take it seriously.
So there's a show that I watch called Adam Ruins Everything.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And it kind of answered a question I always had, but everybody looked at me crazy. When somebody says the Mona Lisa is a work of art, I just saw it as that's some bland looking lady. Why is this a work of art? And they were like, oh, well, it's a work of art because it's done by this guy. And I'm like, so what? It still looks like crap. It's a popularity thing. All the popular people said that this artist makes good work. I could say this is my best design for whatever. I think a light pole. And they could say, oh my God, he made the greatest manual ever. He's a genius. It's literally just people with popularity saying, oh, this is the best one you should get. But there's no tracking. There's no stock market that's saying, hey, gold is trending up right now, and these other countries, and China's looking at buying this, and pork bellies are trending this way. And with regular money, you have a trend that you could see. With Bitcoin, it's the rumor mill. Oh, Elon Musk is going to be using Dogecoin, and you could get on, if you invest now, you can get on the bottom floor and you could become one of those people that buy the Patreons, and you could get early invitations to go to Mars, all because somebody said some shit. No proof or backing behind it.
I feel like you're mixing crypto and NFTs together now.
I feel like that was his way of. You were just trying to show us you got new LED lights, is what you were doing just then.
No, I did. Oh, I did get new LED lights, but I couldn't find any artwork to show you. But regardless, I think that's the same way NFTs are going. I just think they tried to jump on that bandwagon sooner before they were ready to. I'll put it this way: I'm not investing more than my $2 a month.
Well, think about an NFT, right? An NFT is a piece of unique digital technology or digital art or something, right? And then think about the real Mona Lisa, that was painted by Michelangelo. That is worth something because it's tangible, and Michelangelo's brush touched that piece of canvas. What's an NFT? I mean, seriously, what is the value?
An NFT would be take that Mona Lisa one, and if the Smithsonian, whoever's in charge of his state, says we're going to make a high resolution vectored digital copy of the Mona Lisa in limited forms at 32K resolution.
32K. You can't limit it though. In reality, you can't really limit it.
They're the owners of it.
You can.
So they can literally scan the Mona Lisa, put it in digital format, and now say you can have a limited edition official NFT of the Mona Lisa that no one else will ever have except for these other 100 people.
I'm going to try and sound a little bit smarter probably than what I am, but my understanding with NFTs are they're tied to the blockchain, right? Like, so there is a way to verify authenticity inside of that. And people can even monetize it. So if I've got this picture of fighting gorilla that seems to be the popular one, or fighting hippo, or fighting rhino, or whatever the hell the new popular animal is this week, like you can actually put it out there that every time somebody uses it or sees it or views it, like you get something off of it. I have no idea. But crypto, that Joe, you got any money in crypto?
I don't understand
Nothing,
it.
not a dollar.
I don't understand it.
Let's see. I've got I'm holding on to Dogecoin forever because one day Dogecoin and Shibu I'm gonna retire millionaire one day. As soon as they get to $10, I'm gonna be happy. I'll be a happy man if they ever get to $10. I actually read something, but I'm actually part of a mining scheme for two different cryptos, for Bitcoin and Pi coin. So hopefully one day those will make me money. I got several thousand in that. I've got Shibu, got this coin amp. If Michael Tutan ever watches this, I loathe him for talking me into going and buying amp. That was an absolute garbage coin that now I'm just holding on to because I at least want to get my money back out of it. Right now I'm like down to a quarter of what I put into it.
Oh, ouch.
And then I signed up for whatever coin is Coinbase, Coinbase.com.
The Super Bowl one.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, they put their name on the Lakers arena. That thing will be worth some money.
No. And that's what
that was trash.
It's all trending. And look at Dogecoin. Elon Musk was behind Dogecoin, and
I should have cashed out at my 70 cents or whatever it got up to, because it was nice at that point, and now it's down to, I think last time I looked this morning, it was down to 7 cents.
You should have cashed out.
I bought it for.
You should have cashed out during the Saturday Night Live episode that Elon was on. During the episode.
I think it'll cash up or go up when he makes another big leap in achievement for Tesla, whether it's for the Falcon rockets or the Tesla car.
Twitter.
Hey,
Twitter. You want to change topics? Did you hear that might be on pause?
Yeah, I heard about that. Because of all the fake accounts.
Yeah, so he's got a concern about how many fake accounts there are on Twitter, and if that really holds value, if there's as many fake accounts out there. Somebody had said at one point that they thought 90% of the accounts on Twitter were fake.
Bots.
Twitter is claiming that it's 5% or less. I think that's what I read. Maybe somebody wants to fact check that number, but it's pretty low, like 5% or less. I think is what the number is. Twitter's claiming.
Yeah. So what they revealed is that the way Twitter does its random bot checking is they query 100 users and try to determine out of those 100 users how many are bots, and then they take that number and multiply it. They ratio it with their entire user base based on 100 users. And Elon said, I think after the CEO of Twitter, that Pradeep guy or whatever his name is, he made that post, Elon's response was the poop emoji. Because it was garbage. 100 users is the same.
So what do you think? Listen, let's call our prediction right now.
Oh, actually.
More.
Sorry. I'm going to say at least, I just realized I'm going to go with at least 20% of their accounts are fake. The reason why?
Here, look, I want you to make a commitment. And I want you to make a commitment today on this episode.
Of what?
Does Elon complete the purchase of Twitter?
Who's tracking the votes? I'm saying he does.
I'm saying he does.
I think he does not.
I'm starting to side with Joey. I think that I don't know, man.
No, I think what happens is he renegotiates the price. Because I don't know if you know
Lindsay.
this. I don't know if you know this, but there is a $1 billion termination fee if he backs out. $1 billion he has to pay.
Do you think he cares about $1 billion?
Do you care about the dollar in your lint drawer?
Listen. Do you think he cares about those fake accounts more than $1 billion though? The power
feel-
he will wield,
I think he
the
does.
power he will wield if he owns Twitter will outweigh those fake accounts, especially if he can
So here's the
renegotiate
thing.
a slightly lower price.
Listen,
So here's
you
the thing
say that, but let me ask you a question. You talk about the power that this guy owns if he owns Twitter. But the fact that this dude flexed and the way that he flexed by saying, "Oh yeah, you pissed me off. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put a poll out on Twitter and you all as the community decide whether or not I'm going to buy a company." And the dude flexed so hard that he proved the point that at will this dude can just go buy. That's like you walk, the old joke about rich people walking into a hotel and then they get treated poorly and then they just turn around and buy the hotel. This dude bought an entire tech company or has the capability to do it. And he just made sure everybody knows it. He didn't have to complete it. The word is out there. The dude's got the power. He didn't have to do it now. The
I don't
flex
think
has
that's
been
it.
made.
I think he did it beyond what I'm looking at it from the tech side of thing, not the money wise, not the flexing. If you buy Twitter, you get Twitter's user base, and I believe there's at least 20% of it is fake, because Twitter's the easiest way for you to sign up for an Activision, Blizzard, and a bunch of other accounts, and that's full of fake bullshit accounts, and they're all authenticated through Twitter. I think he's buying it for the user base and to turn it around to be something else. I know I joked about it being the new MySpace, but I think that's how big of a flex he has. Where it's like, you know what, y'all been
Well, he's
fucking
got to
up
put a
Twitter.
touch on it for sure.
Y'all been fucking up Twitter. You've been taking away the rights of First Amendment, and you over here, you do this. Okay, I'm Elon Musk. I just saved NASA. You understand? I just saved your space organization. Now I bought this. All right. Screw it, all of you little social media whatevers. I'm going to make my own, and those who follow me that want open source whatever, all the things that he believes in. I think he's going to rename Twitter to something else, and it's going to be the new social media platform. And he's going to take all those users with him. Now,
Who's tracking these votes? Who's tracking the votes? I'm going to track the votes.
I feel like you should have stopped at just saying yes, he's going to buy Twitter.
No, I had
yes.
exaggerate.
So we got yes, yes, no, no.
Yeah, the 2 yeses, 2 nos.
Yep.
My vote's fluid, though.
Kind of like crypto.
Yeah. My vote is as reliable as Dogecoin right now.
Man, I already checked it once this month. I got to wait till next month before I look
Hey,
at it.
let's go with one of Tommy's questions. If you could choose one superpower, what would it be? Magic, go for
Hold
it.
on. I will preface this because we asked this question the other night. Think of all the superhero movies you've seen, the downfalls of those superpowers, like The Boys. That's it. With mine, I'm going with teleportation.
Good one. Can you at least give us a little info on that?
I can snap my fingers. I'll never be late to work ever again, and I could just get somewhere where I need to be.
Terrence, you work
He's
from
still gonna
home, man.
I can snap my fingers, get from the bedroom to the living room. I ain't gotta walk it. No, it's like I would be able to go visit any of y'all with a snap of a finger and not have to plan and worry. I could literally take a weekend and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go kick it with Tom and Patty and the kids. Boom. How y'all
Mine's similar to his.
And I could go anywhere.
Oh, it's
Tom?
Johnny's. No, finish
going
your thought
last.
because you started to say yours was similar. So I want to hear what you got.
That's it. You got people got
teleportation?
on that one.
Mine
next,
would be I guess the psychic abilities like Professor X has. I'd like to be able to read people's minds and control some of their like things
Would
they
you
say,
have the
things they
struggles
do.
he has?
No, I just want his power.
You don't want to be trapped in
It's
the
just the
chair?
positive part. Okay, cool. Is there something that you've got in mind that you would like to use that power on that kind of sparked that for you?
Everybody invest in Doge.
Well, the other night, see, I guess not anymore. But the other night when we were talking is I had chosen time travel the other day. So I guess if I could have both, then that would be like the perfect combination. Time travel and psychic ability so that I could read people's minds. Ooh,
We're all dead.
Danger.
We're all dead. Tom already said he's gonna butterfly effect the shit out of everything.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, well, look. Hey, my aunt's joined us, so you all watch your damn mouth. Look, I think that number one, there's something that we could definitely rule out. I'm not flying. I'm scared to death of heights, so that doesn't work. I think super strength is overrated. Teleportation's definitely cool. I think if Terrence hadn't taken that, I probably would have gone with teleportation. You ever see that movie Limitless?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of knowledge that he has is that super intelligence where he can figure anything out. That's kind of appealing. But I think what I'm gonna go with is the ability to be invisible.
That's you.
Now
Your aunt just showed up and then you got dirty.
I knew somebody was gonna pick it. So we have to clarify. Do you become invisible, or is everything that touches you become invisible?
Right.
Well,
So you got to walk around naked.
Look, hear that. No,
Right.
This is actually an intriguing question. Do I have the ability to go between being invisible and being visible? Because that would actually change the context of the conversation for me.
That was
I don't want to be invisible all the time. I want to be invisible when I want to be invisible.
right.
And walk in on a clown talking ish.
Right.
Right?
You have to be naked.
Dish,
Or
huh?
do you just walk in and they just see pants and clothes
Well,
and
it's
no
his
bike there?
superpower, so he gets to pick.
That's what I was asking.
That's my superpower. So I can just the ability to, even with clothes, be able to like gone out of sight.
All right.
So what? But okay,
second part
so
to that
I want to
question.
know like what's the main So I want a situation that you'd use this in to get an idea of.
Girls' locker
I
room.
think there's all kinds of situations. Oh, come on. No, listen.
Well, that would have been it if he were still in high school, for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Do the Porkies?
But I want to know. Really.
Some people's high school was more successful than others.
What are you doing?
Listen,
step
I think Jesus. I think you ever hear the statement like I wish I was a fly on the wall? Like it's kind of that, like being able to sit in on conversations that people don't expect you to be sitting in on, the things that you would be able to listen to and learn, where you could just travel and go wherever you want.
So you went
knowledge. I agree. Right there, knowledge.
You never use it for nefarious crimes, walk into a bank vault and just steal stuff.
I mean you don't
he would not admit it.
You know.
Well, then it's not necessarily a superpower anymore, is it? Then
No,
it becomes
because
an
then
evil
you become a
power.
super villain.
Then it's an evil power.
That's a super villain.
You got to decide who you are, Terrence.
I'm just saying. I root for both sides.
When are you gonna grow up?
Hey, that just reminded me that
actually May 28th after Top Gun 2 comes out.
That gave me an idea for a spin-off conversation that we should probably have a weekly segment on, and we should call it overrated or underrated. And then somebody just throws out a topic or a word or anything. And mine
Let's
was
start
when
that next segment.
I was thinking
Can
about
Can I do my superpower first?
Oh, I thought you did.
Joey never told him.
Oh, I thought he said his was what Terrence had chosen.
No, similar.
He backed out, wouldn't let us. He insisted on being last. Remember?
Go.
Hi, Aunt Carrie. Hi. I see you. Subscribe. Okay.
You're like 10 minutes
Love
late.
You. So mine was what Tom, I guess, did the other day. Time travel, baby.
What, Tom? What?
I think time travel is the most intriguing for me. There's lots of things that I would take advantage, and it's like knowledge, like you're talking about invisible.
Yeah.
So I would like to be able to go in the future, find out, things, and
Lottery
it
numbers.
would help me think outside of the box, but it be inside the box at the same time.
Is it bigger on the inside?
Because when you go to the future and you find out something new, well, it's not really outside of the box when you're getting it from somebody else. It's inside the box. But when I come back, I'm outside the box and I'm thinking and I'm using it and boom, baby. I'm not saying that I don't want to be creative on my own, but very successful people do steal their ideas, and I'm game. I'm okay with that.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
So honestly, if I could, I would do all those powers.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Hold on.
If you
That
could
actually.
teleport and be invisible and go back in time to avoid the butterfly effect. You're invisible. Nobody could see you. And
well, just take on a power that person
Peter
that zaps
Petrelli.
powers from people.
Siler.
Joey, I got a question about your superpower now, though. Doesn't that raise then, if you go into the future to commandeer somebody else's idea that's in the future and you bring it back to the present, that effectively changes the future now, though, doesn't it?
Yes, Voyager season 4.
Not in my superpower.
It's a forward-thinking butterfly effect.
You did that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I hadn't thought about, honestly thought about that. But that doesn't mean that I can't figure it out.
I think if I could time travel, I would rather go back and observe shit to get definitive answers. Like,
I would use it in every direction.
What was Hitler's, actual last words? Where is Jimmy Hoffa buried? I would just get factual answers.
Did Elvis really die? Did Tupac really die?
It's all those.
I just saw a new theory that Michael Jackson didn't really die.
Really?
I mean, you could literally go back and answer those questions and then write a book and create your own millions. Like, hey, here's the proof I have.
But wouldn't you have to?
Maybe you're that guy.
Wouldn't you have to be able to teleport and time travel then? Or are you like if you if you have the power to time travel? If I say I'm going to go back 20 years, like I would just be sitting in this basement 20 years ago. I mean, this house may not even be built. How does time travel? I don't know. Now we're getting into the technicalities.
Hey, so speaking of time travel, little off topic. Speaking of time travel, I don't know if you guys saw this, but locally here in Phoenix, they're shutting down the Circle K from Bill and Ted. Did you know? First of all, let me ask you this: did you know that the Circle K and Bill and Ted was here in Phoenix?
No, where?
Oh,
I didn't.
Somewhere in downtown Phoenix.
Wow.
Why are they shutting it down? Because it's sucking.
It's downtown Phoenix.
Yeah, it's old and busted.
They don't want downtown Phoenix to be downtown Phoenix from the 90s anymore.
No, I'm sure they don't.
Upscale and woke. It has to be real world authentic now. So I don't want any of the old stuff. So no more hookers or transits playing hacky sack on the middle of the corner of 3rd Street and was it Fremont or some shit?
Van Buren.
That was our only form of exercise for a while. Hours of hacky sack.
On Van Buren?
No, in front of circles actually. And you always just knew the game was over when somebody took a step back because you knew there was going to be a happy, high, hard one, and they were just going to kick the shit out of it. Like, all right, game's over.
That sounded inappropriate the way you said that.
Hey,
high, hard one. Yeah, that's kind of pushing it. Yeah.
No, but we did go to Mill. I mean, we went to Mill like 7 nights a week and hacky sacked for a while. Nothing to be proud of, but
we also
that's what we
down
did.
Mill Avenue too. So.
All right, Tom, what was your idea?
Okay, so having a segment called Overrated or Underrated, and almost like how we did a little vote on Twitter on if Elon would go through, but like when Terrence was talking about working at home, I thought, what do we think about working at home? Is that overrated or underrated? And I'll go first since it's just to kind of give you an idea.
Since we all work from home, okay.
I think it's
Does everybody
overrated.
work from home?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
we
think
do.
working from home is overrated?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what
He's
do you
been
mean by
doing it the
overrated?
longest, just so we know. Be clear here. He's been doing it the longest.
Yeah.
Who has?
Tom?
I've been
Tom,
working
how
at
long have you
home.
been working from home?
2005. Yeah, 2005.
Oh, okay. Well, shit,
Oh.
yeah, you got me beat.
Wow.
And
I thought Joey was the one who'd been working from home the longest.
sometimes you just want to give somebody a high five, you know?
So,
I mean,
I get
we're
it.
true
stronger
story.
together.
That's the whole reason that my company did go work from home, was because I gave somebody high five
Along with four
when,
more.
when I had the vid.
How many people got it from you? Do you know?
I have no idea if anybody actually got it from me. I just
Okay.
know that I was
I think working
Moving
from
on.
home is underrated.
underrated. What
Yeah,
if it's
because
just
I
rated?
look at. So we were talking about the big cloud, and Mike, you probably remember the big cloud. Anytime you left from Cerro Vista or Tucson to come up to Phoenix between that Death Valley area, you knew you were getting close to Phoenix because you could see the smog cloud. And when everybody went home within 2-3 weeks, actually, let's say within 2 weeks, that smog cloud dissipated. I was like, holy shit, this is the first time I've seen
Interesting.
Phoenix without that big ass cloud hanging over its head.
Did you
And so
notice
you
that
think-
too, Mike?
And so you think it's underrated
100%.
because of the cloud?
Well, and maybe I'm not defining underrated.
I get what you're saying completely.
Look,
I think companies underrate the benefits of working from home. Like our company
For
literally
the environment.
said,
The cloud is back, by the way.
$500,000 this year because we didn't have to pay insurance on a building with no one in it. They're like, we didn't have to pay that. We don't.
Yeah, but
have
I'm
to
talking
pay...
about from your not from your company's perspective, but from your own perspective. You like working at home, it sounds like.
Yes, I would never. I
would
doing
rather
my
go
job-
into an office. I'm at the point. I've been working at home so long. I'm ready to be in an office. To be honest, I'd like to go into.
You
an
do
office.
miss it, but honestly, you have a job where you need to interact with people. You have those internal relations. I'm probably the lowest man on the totem pole out of our group here, at least for another 2 weeks. I sit at a desk and take phone calls and answer dumb questions.
I
don't
sit at a desk and
need-
answer emails, so
I don't need to be in dress attire. I don't have to wear khakis and wear a button up. I don't have to show up at a certain time and deal with Phoenix traffic from Gilbert or Mesa to downtown Phoenix and back. There's absolutely no reason for me to go in the office at all.
So you're saying you sit at work in your boxers.
So what?
So you sit at work in your boxers.
Sure.
Listen,
I'm wearing some shorts right now and a t-shirt.
I'm not wearing anything on the bottom.
I'm
You would say
I'm not allowed to talk about what I do at work. I don't know that it's overrated or underrated, but I will say this. I would like the ability to go to the office when I want to. And right now I'm not at that stage where I can yet.
So what you're saying is if you feel the need that you got to put some baby powder on and just leave a 5-finger discount on somebody's upper regional body, you want to be able to reach out and touch someone. I'm playing. We're joking. Mike would never do that type of thing. He's a good guy, an all-around gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a peaceful man.
I do agree. Where we work, we're not saying the name, but where we work, it is an amazing atmosphere going in to me.
Yeah.
And I love the energy there. So I get it. But I prefer, and I say it's underrated, I prefer being at home. If I had my
Same.
dream job, which I'm working toward, it would be very difficult for me to leave my current position or not position, but place of work. The only thing that could get me to sway is if I had a full-time woodworking job, or my own woodworking business.
You watch the
but that
internal
would still be
postings?
in my own location.
Do you watch the
What?
internal postings for a woodworking position opening?
Yeah, every day. You're so
I feel where
funny.
you're going.
I forgot to
I've
laugh.
redefined my dream job too, so it still wouldn't be going into an office. I'd rather just have my own
Yeah,
business and work at home, doing whatever I want, whether it's cooking, doing screen printing, doing web shirt designs or graphic design work or music.
going like the idea of going to work every day now feels like work. Like the idea of getting up, showering, getting dressed, going to the office, spending all day there.
That's how I feel. I feel like
getting done, dealing with traffic. Like I just, especially where I live now. I live so far from where my office is.
Oh my God, that's got to take you forever to get into the office.
Yeah, and look, I moved out here knowing that, but I
my God,
I love to listen to audiobooks, so I enjoy it. My drive to and from, but no, I don't want to go back to.
I totally just remembered. I don't know why, but I'm like a half mile from where you work, and I'm like, man, that's got to be a long ass drive to Mike's. I'm like, what the fuck? I just drove to Mike's house, and I live right by where he works. That shit took like almost a little over an hour. I'm like,
it doesn't take
that long. Does it really take that long?
Exaggerating. No.
I was thinking 40 minutes.
No, it took me because
it takes about 40 minutes.
I don't have, I don't know the ins and outs of the streets out there anymore. So like when I used to go out there before, I would take Country Club to a certain point because of the speed limit. And I got caught in the 15-mile-an-hour zone of Arizona Ave and Gilbert once. And I'm like, man, I should have just taken the 60 all the way up to the 202 and wrapped around, or the 101. I was like, oh, I'll just follow what the computer tells me to do. And yeah, it took like an hour and 10 minutes. But yeah, that's got to be 45 minutes every day and then coming home. Man.
Well, it's a drive. Yeah.
So we got 3 underrateds and an overrated.
I think that's
the one that's been doing it the longest. He's done.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense so from Tom's perspective.
Yeah, but if he goes into the office, he's flying over the pond.
I mean, in all fairness, we are Tom's human interaction.
Well, this is true. I mean, I get it.
Outside of his family.
That's so I'm gonna do like the what's the guy that was the insurance guy?
Jake.
There was a khakis and red shirt.
Jake.
Tom, blink twice if you're okay. Give us a sign.
And as soon as you get better, Tom, I'm coming over. So just putting that out there.
I miss human interaction sometimes, but I'd rather
not have it.
I'd rather have the option. No, I'd rather have the option of who I get it from. I'll go to a bar or go to a restaurant. It's the people that I work with, I don't want to interact with. they're not y'all, but so it's like I have nothing to talk to them about, like at all.
So do you so Tom and Mike, do you guys struggle with, I don't think you do as much, Mike. I know that Tom's a little introverted. But this can apply to you too, Mike. Do you guys struggle with wanting maybe to meet new people or hang out with others, or are you content with what you have?
No, I need people interaction. Like my wife, so this weekend, for context, I typically every weekend I'll golf at least once a weekend, and most weekends I golf twice.
Okay.
And so this is the first weekend in months that I didn't go golf. So Friday night we went to a going away party for somebody. Saturday we had a vet appointment. We went and watched a movie. We can get into that if you all want to talk about it. I went and watched The Lost City. And then Sunday, what did we do? We didn't do shit Sunday. We sat around Sunday, and so I didn't do anything. I basically stayed around the house all weekend. And so yesterday, the end of the day, Renee looks at me and she goes, were you bored this weekend? And I hadn't really thought about it. And I was like, no, not really. She says, you seem very bored this weekend because I didn't get out of the house. Like,
Right.
I get out and I hang out with my buddies every weekend, once or twice a weekend, and go golf. And this is the first weekend that I didn't do it. And I do like having that social interaction. Like I'm not like Terrence, where I'm like, oh, let's go to the club and party and get down.
I don't.
But
you're Mac man. You're Mac man.
No.
I do like going out and being social. I like going out to dinner with people. I like going and golfing with my buddies and talking shit and having that social interaction. Don't get it wrong. Like, the time I spend with my wife is the most important thing to me, and I enjoy her company.
Yep, I'm same here.
I do, though, like getting out and socializing. We got some friends that live down the street, and we go hang out with them typically once or twice a week, sometimes less than that. But what about you, Tom?
Yeah, Tom. I already know his answer, but
yeah, no, I mean, I got no homies out here. I got no homies in Illinois. There's a bug on my thing, though. It's like a theme with me. Is
an
this
ant?
bug. No, this was a gnat.
Oh, I thought you were going to blow your nose on podcasts. This could be invigorating TV. Like, this is exciting.
Out of the 8 episodes, he's had some kind of bug at least half the time.
Yeah,
each episode.
I thought we were going to get through this one. No, real quick.
So,
I'll wrap up. We've been here almost 10 years, and I just haven't connected with anybody out here. I've connected with some people to shoot do some video work. Actually, that's it. DJ, a little bit of, I connected with some DJs a while back, but yeah, I mean, I've been here for like 9, going on 10 years, and it's just like, I got no connections out here. No homies. Not
Joey?
A single homie.
Yeah, I struggle with once I know somebody, it's over. But I struggle with people passing the grade, I think. Does that make sense? I mean, so I've got a neighbor across the street that, I'm always out in the garage building stuff, and he's looked over at me. We've ran into each other at the food truck that stops in our neighborhood twice in the last
Piggly Wiggly
6 months. And, I've said, yeah, you can come by whenever if you see me out in the garage working on stuff. He's never come over. Then the guy next to him, who's directly across from me, is out in the garage doing, normal lawn stuff and whatever. He's never even said hello or come by or nothing. Not that I've gone over to him. So I don't really push it. There's a couple, guys. There's a sheriff. There is a guy next to him. Those guys have come over. Like my son's friend, his dad's come over a couple times, but for the most part, none of them are anybody that I've hung out with on a regular basis or done anything outside of chit chat for a second or two. So I think I struggle with reaching out to people. I've got my best friend, my wife. And
I'm the exact opposite. Like, I'm friends with all my neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, I that probably doesn't surprise anybody. Like, I'm just
Nope.
I'm a buddy of mine. We went to a party around Christmas time, and I didn't know anybody there. But you all know me. Like, I talk to everybody, so we're sitting there talking. He goes, you make me feel so uncomfortable. I'm like, why? He's like, because I like to come to these parties and just kind of kick back. And if I'm sitting with you, I know I'm going to talk to most of the people in the party, because at some point somebody's going to walk by and you're going to start up a conversation with them. And it just makes me feel so uncomfortable. And I'm just like, listen, man.
Mike
talking to
was
people.
always the icebreaker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Usually it's like, because I remember times we would go to bars and shit, like not know anybody there, but then, or we'd be at like on the motorcycle club, he'd hear somebody say something sports related, And it was like Mike. That was Mike's score. Like,
Sports was the big one. Yep, I agree.
Are you telling me Dallas? You telling me Dallas is underrated? No, hold on. I need to go have this conversation. And he's off to the races. And next thing you know, half the bar sitting over talking to Mike. We're like, dude, we were supposed to be here for 20 minutes, and now you were talking about like the '87 Super Bowl versus so and so, and on what play. And it's like, just go get a job at ESPN already.
'87 Super Bowl. That would have
I think
been
that's the shit I'm talking about.
New York Giants and Denver Broncos.
I don't know, Mike.
Somebody should look that up.
Picked up from you.
Hey, I do got a
No,
quick
I think
question. I got a
Broncos-
quick question for Mike.
Now I
What
gotta look it up.
what the F happened to the Suns last night?
Oh, dude, don't even listen. It's a good thing we weren't doing this last night because I probably would have broke my laptop. It got real uncomfortable in my house. My
Redskins,
wife,
Giants.
Redskins. No, that's not even. No, wait,
No,
that's
no,
not even
no,
a
no, hold on.
possibility.
It is Broncos, Giants. Good call.
Broncos, Giants, '87. See how I am?
That
See how I am? Something's wrong with me. I should be
97
supervised.
Super Bowl.
97 Super Bowl would have been
Dallas.
Dallas.
Nope.
97?
97 is not Dallas.
No.
Green Bay, Denver.
I don't know. That must have been the end of the Aikman and whoever took over
It
Romo.
was Green Bay. I think Patriots.
Green Bay Patriots. That makes sense. I knew it was one of those two. So yeah, last night. I think Tom, did you watch the whole series?
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole game yesterday. I pretty much stopped watching
No,
at halftime.
I turned it off. I think look, my hot take, I said what I said, is from the second Chris Paul turned 37, that dude just stopped playing ball. He looked scared. He looked like he didn't want the ball in his hand. The dude quit moving the ball. Like, as soon as he got the ball, like, he wasn't taking his shot anymore. He wasn't dishing well. He was turning the ball over. He became a liability defensively. Like, from that point on, and then the Suns got a little too arrogant there in Game 5, started talking a little smack. You had that whole Luka special comment that Book made. But look, man, I think one of the things that we discovered about that too is that Book ain't that guy. Like, he's been compared a couple times to like having that Mamba mentality, that Kobe Bryant mentality, but that isn't what we saw last night. He didn't put the team on his back. Even with CP3 underwhelming in last night, really the whole series. Ayton played 2 minutes in the second half. 2 minutes. They took Ayton over Luka. Luka went off in the first half, scored more points than the Suns scored. The whole Suns team.
You're kidding.
Trash.
Really?
Straight fire. The Sun look, and I like Shaq's assessment of it. Shaq said, "Hey, I'm not putting this on. I'm not gonna rip the Suns too much. Everybody has an off night, and it's true. Everybody has an off night. But
But you gotta say it like Shaq.
no, I can't
all
say
right, but
Shaq.
me and Kobe,
Yeah.
off nights.
How my ass taste? How my ass taste, Kobe?
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, I think man, Suns, of all my teams, of all of my sports teams, there is none of my teams that rips my heart out and disappoints me in quite the epic fashion the way the Suns do.
Is it over or is there still
is
more?
Yeah, they're
CP3?
done. They're out.
Does he come back next year, CP3, or does he opt out?
I think he's definitely back. I think he comes back. But the Suns, we will see how serious the Suns are. A good analogy that I saw today that Acho made today on Speak for Yourself. He said, this version of the Suns is done. Just like the 07 or the 06 version of the Mavericks were done. That doesn't mean that they're going to be no good, but that version of that team is done, and that this version of the Suns team does not have what it takes to get back to the finals. Now, they got a good player in Book. They got a good player in Ayton, but they need to go out and put somebody or somebodies. They need to put a couple people that can hit the three. It was a garbage three-point shooting team. And this is a three-point league now. And they're just they've got to be able to drop the three. And so they got some work to do. So this version of the Suns, I think the window's closed on them. I think CP3, he's going to be a good role player.
Where do you rank this in your in emotional disappointment for a loss?
Emotional damage meter.
Suns all-time disappointment letdowns.
Or any team, not just the Suns. What's something that you were really upset about in a sporting event? Like you were really pissed.
No, last year's Suns letdown was the biggest. That was, look, in the Jordan in the Bulls series back in the 1900s, that was a letdown, but it was Jordan, right? Like that was Jordan. Like we had no real expectation of winning that. Like we were dreaming and we believed, like when we all got down to it, we knew that was Jordan on the other side and we weren't going to win that, right? Like, so that was disappointing and that was heartbreak. A couple of them Nash teams, like, man, some of those Nash teams with Amari and Marion, like, yo, those were some good teams. And that was like, we lost some tough series in the 2000s.
You ain't got no
But
Cowboys.
last year,
you ain't got no Cowboy stories where
no,
they.
I'm telling you, no team has let me down like the Suns have.
Oh, you got nothing
Number
on
one,
me. So.
look, the Cowboys at least have won some championships in my lifetime. Hell, even the Cubs have won some championships in my lifetime. But
Even the
Suns, yeah, even the Diamondbacks. Like, we've won some championships in my lifetime.
Coyotes?
The Suns, listen, I don't have a love for hockey in the same way that I do.
Has a loss ever brought you to tears? Has a loss ever made you that emotional?
No, I can't say that a loss has ever made me that emotional. Furious. Last night's game was probably about as furious as I've ever been in a sporting event. Like I was just, because they just did nothing. So I was probably more angry last night in a single moment during a game, but the overall letdown of man, being in a position where we could have, we were up two games to nothing. And last season we needed 2 wins. And over the course of 4 games, we didn't pull off another win. And got swept on the way out.
That blow it at the last minute.
What's it, Terrence?
That Arizona is known for.
You got emotion. What's your emotion?
What are you talking about?
You.
No, I just said that's the Arizona. I call it the Arizona blow it at the last minute thing. Like I'm not as big into sports as Mike, but like when we were going to the World Series, now all the times before, it was blow it at the last minute. Look at U of A. Other than like the 2 times when Lute Olson was there, it was it became the blow it at the last minute. Like Chris was talking, they played to the ability of the other team and never stayed at their game. Like why are you hiding your skill?
Yeah, but let's turn that on the opposite side. You talk about emotion in the game. I cried like a baby the night that the Cubs won. I cried like a baby the night that the Cubs went to the World Series and the night they won the World Series. Sobbed, cried sad. cried. Like just
Yeah,
cried.
well, nobody's got anything on being a San Diego fan, so just throwing that out there.
Okay.
That's fair.
So not to change topics, but to change topics. I asked earlier, I asked the guys the question I asked you. And Mike brought up a thing. Do you ever think that Western movies will ever go back to the genre that the level that they were when we were growing up? And then Mike's posited, were they ever at that height of like the number one thing? And I think they were, because
Not when we were growing up.
Before we were growing up, they were huge.
Our parents watched them.
Like Bonanza?
Yeah, like when our parents, in our parents' time, Westerns were at an all-time high.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think they will ever come back to that same?
Well, you said us, so that's where I was
from. So I think that's important to differentiate, though, from a movie or from a television standpoint.
From a movie standpoint,
no.
So, and this is the reason why I asked, is I was talking to somebody about country music, and I realized like Tombstone is one of my favorite movies. There's a what is it? It's a remake with Matt Damon and somebody else. I want to say that Josie Wells, but that may not be it. But that also is one of my favorite. I realized there was like 3 of my good movies that I actually enjoy watching. And then I realized I was like, there hasn't really been a big Western movie that's been put out in a while. Like some series have come back, especially with like Yellowstone, The Ranch, 6. That's why
TV series is a different story, though.
Go back to that
TV series. Or TV series, I think you can reach some heights with Westerns.
Absolutely agree.
I don't think like every once in a while you might get something that'll pop off from a Western movie. Like if they ever did a Yellowstone movie, that'd probably be big.
Yep, I agree.
Like a one-time Yellowstone movie, people would pile into the theater to watch it.
Well, you're saying no more Old Yellers or any of those, or Johnny Get Your Gun.
Yeah, but see, think about everything you just said. Like those are all from one period in time where everybody wanted to see all. Like that was the movie style at that time.
I mean, even for like the 70s, 60s.
Yeah,
we don't have an Elvis.
That's what I asked.
We don't have an Elvis to be put in a movie.
Yeah, John Wayne. Like
we don't have a John Wayne.
Of course we do.
Who?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Stop.
He is not John Wayne or Elvis.
I mean, you do have a group of actors that can still play. I mean, look at Clint Eastwood. He was
phenomenal.
Not to say you could put him back in one.
Sure,
now.
40 years ago.
That's why I said not you could put him in there now. But you're telling me there's no good actors that would be able to play in a movie that's set in Western times?
I don't think that.
I think the culture's changed too much.
I think
for it to be mainstream
I
like
do
that.
too.
Okay.
I think you could build. I think you could build through. You know, what was the show you were talking about last week, Joey? Billy the Kid.
Yep.
Sounds like that's a good episode, or a good series. You got this 1883. You got Yellowstone. There's another show that's Open Range. Yeah. There's a bunch of shows that fill that genre, and I think there's a good space, and a lot of people like enjoying.
But a lot of them haven't succeeded like Yellowstone has.
Yeah, well, Yellowstone's kind of.
It's not. It's a modern day Western.
Yeah, but you could still. I still kind of throw that in that Western category.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Yeah, but look at 1883. Like I said earlier, my wife likes 1883 better than she liked this last season of Yellowstone.
Yeah, but how many seasons are we going to get out of that?
Technically, only one.
Well, hopefully they figure something out because it's
of 1883.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one is going to be 1924 or 1920 or something like that. They're jumping from 1883 to the 1920s.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, you already know this?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. That makes me happy.
Sheridan said that this is a limited run series. 1883 was.
If they do a bunch of limited runs, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Basically
It's
telling
phenomenal.
the story of Yellowstone and how it got to where it got.
Lots
I've heard
of-
there's going to be some extended episodes that expand upon what 1883 is.
Okay.
Like I've been told that they're going to run a couple extra episodes. Like they'll make a couple extra episodes, but it won't be considered. It'll still be considered part of.
Yeah, because they did
season or
have to
series
rush through
1883.
stuff without completely expanding on it. For
So, Mike,
sure.
you said that you watched the Lost City. How was that?
It was clever. It was good.
All right.
It was a fun little movie.
Wait, you went to the movie theater to watch that?
Bro, I love going to the movie theaters.
Okay.
I'm not abandoning the movie theaters.
No, I'm just saying because I saw it's on my Amazon. I'm like, wait, I thought that was on Amazon or Paramount. So,
Maybe.
yeah, it is.
It's
I'm
good,
looking
though.
at it. I think I may watch it. That was my question on the movies was westerns. Do you think they will make a comeback, especially as movies?
It would struggle with audience unless they had somebody that could just completely stand out and that's their shtick. It'd be very hard.
I think
My
if
opinion.
they're going to, they need to do it right now. Like while the audience is hot
That's
for
what
that
I'm
kind of
saying.
content. While the audience is hot for that content right now with the rise of all these shows, if you're going to do it, you got to do it now. But I think they also know that I don't feel like that appetite's there for it.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Maybe if they did a remake of Tombstone.
No,
that would be
I don't. That would be horrible. I'm sorry. There's a
Young
lot of
Guns could
movies
be a
I
good
don't want them
remake.
to remake, but
Young Guns.
Young Guns possibly.
Young Guns, yeah.
So Tombstone is a unique movie because the director of the movie didn't direct the movie.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a hard time beating the cast in Tombstone. That cast was perfectly casted.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The guy that plays Wyatt Earp, I can't think of his name right now.
Val Kilmer?
No.
Oh,
No,
you're
that was
talking
Doc
about
Holliday.
Kurt Gibson or Kurt
Kurt
yeah.
Russell.
Kurt
yeah.
Russell.
He
That's it.
actually he
Oh, look at
directed
Liquid Death.
95% of the movie because the director that was hired to do it didn't know how to shoot shit, didn't know how to do anything. Kurt Russell and there's a behind the scenes that you could download. It's like, yeah, after like the third day, I just took over directing and acting.
Well, he was brilliant.
And that's why I said that's a movie I don't think you could I don't think you can make that movie better.
Yeah, but Val Kilmer sealed the deal with a little bit that he played. Now he helped really make that.
Oh, he
Yes.
played that role magnificently.
Yeah, perfection.
I could say that for especially as Doc Holliday. It's kind of I don't know. I have to remember that he's not Iceman in Tombstone. What are you doing?
Where he
You don't
flips
know
his
what I'm
gun.
doing?
Remember
I wasn't looking at the camera and I just
Oh,
saw you.
I was flipping the cup.
Johnny
Flipping
Ringo
the cup.
does all the fancy gun
Like
flips.
Johnny
and
Ringo,
then
are we cross? I can't
And
bear
then
it.
he flips out his cup and
spins it.
yeah, that was brilliant.
I know Tom had a question on a proposal. I told him I couldn't answer it, but I
no,
don't think
because we are running we're running up to time, but let's just do one of these quick
right.
questions real quick.
and then we got to wrap up.
One last
karaoke.
Gunpoint karaoke.
I've got all your questions
Nah.
here and answered.
I'm not karaokeing. Shoot me.
So at gunpoint, you're not singing nothing. You're like, bye, love you, babe, gotta go.
Peace.
Baby got back.
99 love balloons.
You're not even a spoken word. You could give Jack.
This right here is the closest I'm getting to doing karaoke.
I'll do
What
Barry
about you,
Manilow.
Joey?
99 red balloons.
The German version or
And it would be
English?
horrible.
Yeah.
Either one.
Okay. Multi-talented.
99 Luftballon.
Ja, check this. I don't know what the fuck is it.
I don't know
Cheers,
the
Tom.
words. I'd have to learn it. But I'm horrible with words and names. I've said this before. So I'd have to really practice, but that would be it. It'd
I
be
bet you
easy
I
because
bet
it's
you I know
not.
what Tom's
There's
is.
not too many words.
I was about to say,
That's-
because 99 Red Balloons only has like
Yeah, that was my thinking.
four lines of dialogue or of chorus. What's yours, Tom? Should have been a cowboy.
That's the one that's the only karaoke song I've ever done. Should have been a cowboy.
Okay.
But now that you got me thinking about Barry Manilow, I'd probably drop, Can't Smile Without You. After a couple
Without you.
Smirnoff Ices.
So I have two. Depends on the scenario.
Okay.
One is Friends in Low Places.
Oh.
And that's because you can't really get more than 3 lines before everyone else is singing it.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good point.
And Neon Moon, if I had the talent to sing. Brooks and Dunn.
I don't even know that song.
Okay, Google
Who
it.
would have guessed Terrence would have listed both of his songs as country?
Too country. What about
Wow,
Wagon
okay.
Wheel, man? How about some Darius Rucker?
What? I don't even know
No.
what that song is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I like Darius.
Hey, what, did you expect me to drop some Sugar Hill Gang?
Hootie and the Blowfish with the country
But
conversion.
Literally, both songs country.
You didn't put any song on there, so
Yeah, you got no room. No room.
Okay.
I mean,
He
Juvenile.
came to the
I like
table.
country. I like country. I just
Back that ass
I
up.
can't-
like if I think about doing karaoke, I just don't know that country is like the first thing that pops to mind for me.
maybe it's because every place I've gone to do karaoke, or not even gone to do karaoke,
Somebody's
karaoke just
doing
happened to be
country?
there. It's always country. Like it's always a country, like Toby Keith's.
Last
Or-
time I went somewhere that they were doing karaoke, my wife got bullied into doing Frozen.
I bullied into what?
Doing Frozen.
Oh, jeez.
Let It Be.
Oh.
The Let It Be song.
Oh boy.
Or Let It Go.
Was
Let It
there
Go. That
alcohol
song.
involved?
No, in all fairness, Renee probably could have kicked the person's ass, and I don't know how she got bullied into it.
She didn't want to make a scene. Just talking about
Maybe.
the adult version of it. It's called Fuck It
That
All.
person just like totally sold her on like, hey, if we're gonna go do Frozen, Renee was like, no, you're coming, let's go.
That would be uncool with them.
Did we want to do celebrity pass real quick, or are we going to cut it here?
Oh,
Do it.
go ahead, celebrity.
What's the context?
Celebrity pass for your significant other.
Oh, we're cutting it.
Okay. No, I'm
I'm
okay
not
with
going
that.
on record with this.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
That's what I
My
said.
wife, Renee may watch this and get some kind of
All right,
crazy
so I have a
ideas.
question. So I have one last question. This is pertaining because I'm packing up shit, and we brought it up kind of before. What is the rule on keeping memorabilia from exes that you're still friends with?
Why?
I'm asking. I'm asking y'all. Mike's question is why. So that's clearly means no. Throw it away.
I don't have a rule on it. I mean, I don't have anything from an ex
Look.
ever.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're married, then clearly the rule is no.
Right. Yeah.
Obviously, but even still, like I can't even think. I can't.
So let me ask you.
I mean, if you got a Prince Albert and your ex gave it to you, okay.
Let me put it in perspective.
But
Mike,
outside
if
of
one
that,
of your exes gave you a
tattoo,
semi-authentic Luke Skywalker lightsaber
sell it.
as a Christmas
Yo,
gift,
so look, I think you're jumping into different. And I'm gonna actually I'll give you a good example.
okay.
Up until probably about 12 months ago, I had the same golf bag that my ex gave me, but it was a Cowboys golf bag. Had
Right,
nothing to
something
do
like
with my ex though. I'm a Cowboys fan. I had a Cowboys golf ball. I could give a damn less who gave it to me. I wasn't
That's
keeping
what
it
I'm talking
for
about.
sentimental reasons. Like I feel like you phrased that question like It has
Yeah,
to
black
do
or
with
white, yeah.
sentimental reasons. If you're keeping it for sentimental reasons, then my question remains the same. Why?
No,
If it's cool shit,
it wasn't sentimental. It was literally like my Xbox. My ex gave me my Xbox.
That's different.
Should I give
but
that?
yeah, that doesn't.
That's
what
not
I'm
a
asking.
Are you
sentimental
keeping
item.
it for? Yeah, are you keeping it for sentimental value?
No, I'm keeping it because I don't want to go buy a brand new Xbox.
But I do think that a
Then
Luke Skywalker sword is a little different. Even though it's a cool thing, it's still a sentimental item.
Yeah, because I love Star Wars.
That's what I'm saying.
But
Tom,
I think
what's
that
your
that's
thought?
different than an Xbox.
I mean, I understand how you view it as different as an Xbox. I don't think you're relating to how I view Star Wars memorabilia.
Yeah,
I
I think
get it,
I think
but-
if you can, I think if there's no direct correlation to a random person looking at that object, like if his golf bag said, Cowboys love, Sarah or whatever her name was that gave it to you,
Oh, I can give you the name.
Angel or whatever it is.
There you go.
Okay, I want to get it.
I know we drop truth on this channel. But yeah, as long as it's not directly tied to the person that gave it to you, I'm thinking like photo albums and maybe like
Right.
I wouldn't even care so much about keeping photo albums because whatever, if they don't, it's really about like how you feel, in your current situation. And if your new person is like, why you got to keep pictures of that old, Stanko, then it's like, all right, why are you
immediately
so
get
bothered
rid of
by
it.
this?
Well, I have no desire to keep this stuff.
Yeah,
If it reminds me of them, why have it?
if I'm keeping it for sentimental value tied to another
Something's wrong.
person
Yes,
outside of my wife, then absolutely not.
So then let me ask you this then, because Joey and Mike have this seems like real extreme response, like, no, burn it. You should not have it. We do not speak of these things.
No.
So let me ask you this then. Are either one of you still cool or friends with your exes, even though you're married?
Yes.
When's the last time you
I'm
talked to
still
Angel?
friend. Probably her birthday last year. At least once a year.
We drop truth here. We drop truth here.
That's who I'm talking about for him.
Okay, but
for me, my ex is definitely a no-go talk.
Okay.
Main
What
ex.
about you, Tom?
I think once a year. No, I talk to Angel twice a year. Angel will text me on my birthday. I'll text her on her birthday.
I was not talking
It's simple
about
as that. You talking about my ex, like, is in
actual
no,
ex.
bro.
So that's what I'm saying.
No.
Actual ex, though, because you and
No.
Angel, that's what
There's
I'm
no
saying.
reason to talk to that one.
Yeah, no. Listen,
Okay, I'm not being harsh on it or anything. I was just.
I knew
do
the
you
day
actually
that I
talk to your
married her.
ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, the last one. Mike, do you ever talk to your ex-wife or girlfriend?
No,
the last
listen.
one?
Like I
you
said,
did it.
I knew the day that I married her that I was making a bad decision. And I think both of you were there. So the day that I was marrying her, I knew that was a
Bash just
mistake.
told
So
you it was wrong, and he tried to pass that message to Shady. Tom, you're next.
I don't have any contact with any of my exes.
Okay.
But
I
it's been a
also
long,
knew
long,
I
long,
also
long,
knew
long
that I
time.
was making a mistake on my wedding day of that previous marriage.
There for that one.
I
said Sibyllus on the microphone.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah. Wait, whose was
on
I?
purpose.
That was my mic
doing
check.
the mic check.
That was my mic check.
Sibyllus. Wait, so whose bachelor party did we go to at Highlighters? Is that Mike or Tom?
That was Mike, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
Was it?
Wasn't that
Well,
in?
No, my wife went with us to that as well.
No, so that would have been Tom's because yours was in New Mexico.
But we did go to that.
my first
club.
one?
That I've only gone to Mike's first one.
Yeah, but we went to that strip club.
And yeah, we did. In fact, yes, we
I
did.
just don't
Yes,
remember
we
the name
did.
of it.
I remember my.
TD's West.
TDs, that's it. TDs.
Was that a TD's in
Yes.
Rio Rancho?
There was a TD's
No, it wasn't in
East
Rio.
and a
It was in
TD's
Albuquerque,
It was in Albuquerque.
Whatever. It's all
right off the highway.
Yeah. There was a
that
TD's
was
East
good-
and a
That was
West.
a nice club. So it had to be Tom's that was the highlighters.
And I got whipped.
I feel like that had to have been I feel like that had to have been Tom. Tom was always a highlighter guy.
That's me.
I feel like every time we talked about going to those clubs, Tom was like highlighter.
I need
Yes,
to get my.
and
I
you
need
were
to take a
the-
nap.
Maloney's. Tom
Oh,
was highlighter and Mike was Maloney's.
No. Tom was Sonny's.
No, I was Sonny.
Remember
I
him
was that
falling
Sonny.
asleep? Tom fell asleep in the middle of a dance.
I do remember that.
She was offended.
Oh yeah.
I was
And then I had to
tired.
work there too.
Offended.
I was tired.
Yeah, and then Maloney's. Yeah, I love Maloney's. We had a good time going to Maloney's. Do you guys remember the time that everybody in the bar thought I was Fat Joe? I got mixed up for Fat Joe. We were sitting there and I had like the one person, the first girl walked up and starts talking to me and was like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And I was like, "Sure." And then she left, and a couple minutes later, somebody comes up, another girl's like, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And I'm sitting at the end of the bar and I'm going like, what is happening? I remember Tom standing like on the inside of me and Terrence, you were on the other side, and I'm looking over, I was like, what the hell is happening right now? And then finally some dude walked over and started chatting me up, and he was like, and that was like hell, early 2000 or
Yo,
no,
man,
like
when you drop that
2001.
next album?
That guy asked me, he says, "Hey, you're Fat Joe, right?" I was like, what the hell did you just call me? I was offended because I didn't know who Fat Joe was at the time. I had no idea who Fat Joe was. The dude asked me if I was Fat Joe. I was like, excuse me? What'd you just say to me?
What was
Tom
that?
Tom had to explain to me who Fat Joe was and lean back. And I was like, oh, that's Fat
right.
Joe? Why do they think I'm that person? Because I was wearing all red. I was wearing a red shirt and red hat.
What was the dude's name? Hold on. I gotta Google it so I don't want to put out false information. Damn it! I saw this window open from Richard Benjamin.
Bugs everywhere.
All right.
Okay, cut time.
All right,
Subscribe.
Positive
Gross.
King. That was the guy that I got confused with in somewhere, and then Tom milked it.
Yeah, don't forget
he's dropping an
to
album next summer.
don't forget to gently tap that like button. We don't
Because
want to.
Tom will not feel better. He's going to stay sick until we get some subscribers.
Don't gently.
Don't let him stay sick.
Stay woke. People's elbow that like button.
Tell your friends. Tell your aunties. Even my auntie was on the show a little bit today.
Yeah, Aunt Carrie, make sure you subscribe. Love you.